Isn't it a bit rich coming from one of the Euro's key designers to now point the finger of blame elsewhere?
Well, he's pretty robust in the defence of what he did. Don't forget, he was president of the Commission before the euro was actually introduced. It was when they were building the architecture. And he says the rules that he laid down weren't followed by the generation which came next. And that's where he lays the blame. And then he says, of course, also that the current generation of politicians right now trying to deal with the crisis are doing too little too late. So he's not really apologising. He's simply saying if they'd followed the rules we set down and perhaps gone a bit further, things would have been different. But he doesn't seek to dispute that now the Eurozone is in a serious crisis. And
in that, saying that too little is now being done too late, he singles out Germany for its actions as regards the Eurozone. But now it looks like Germany may rescue the euro, no?
Well, if Germany doesn't, it's rather hard to see who's going to, frankly, so it has to be Germany one way or another. This is the most powerful country in Europe. It's the country that's going to have to pay the most to put things right. Yes, the ironic thing is, Germany and France appear to be moving to towards some kind of agreement on a fiscal union within the Eurozone, just the sort of thing Jacques Delors would probably welcome, because don't forget, he was an integrationist. He was somebody who wanted to centralise things. So he wouldn't necessarily object to what they're doing now. I think it's the fact that it's taken them so long to get to this point and brought us so close to the precipice of disastrous market pressure.
What is happening is serious. And we've got countries like Greece and Italy where democracy has been stripped from those countries, where austerity packages are being put upon some of those countries that will drive them into depression, mass unemployment, and probably very serious civil disorder. So we'll celebrate when countries that should never have joined the Eurozone get their own currencies back.
So what do you think the Eurozone should be looking like in a few years' time? You're an MEP, you've got a voice in the European Parliament?
I think that the likelihood is that one by one the Mediterranean countries will start to peel off and we'll finish up with something in the north of Europe that resembles a greater Deutschmark zone. And whilst economically that may pass all the tests of being part of an optimal currency zone, it then asks a political question: do countries like Finland, do countries like the Netherlands want to live in a totally German-dominated currency zone?
We will, of course, export to the Eurozone whatever it looks like. So we are going to have to remain, if not part of this, certainly at close arm's reach, aren't we?
Well, look, what we've always argued in UKIP is we do not want to be a member of political union, but we do want to have free trade, friendship and cooperation. Countries like Norway and Switzerland have exactly the same terms of trade with Europe without being members of the union. Indeed, there are countries all over the world that have free trade deals with the EU. Free trade, cooperation, friendship, but also Britain being able to pursue her own global ambitions as well.
What about, though, if the Eurozone did turn into a core of the economically strongest states in Europe, got rid of the ones that you referred to, the Greeces and Portugals? Would there then be a stronger argument for saying that Britain should be much more integrated with that?
No, look, we tried all this before. Back in 1990, we joined something called the exchange rate mechanism. It was a catastrophe. You have to understand that the British economy is very different to Germany, to France, to Italy, to anywhere else. We are much more already of a country with links with North America, with links with the Commonwealth. We are very different to the other European economies, and we also have a much bigger reliance on financial services. And I'm afraid if we stay part of this European Union, then I fear the legislation coming from Brussels will damage Britain's biggest industry very severely indeed.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.